Welcome again, viewers and readers. It is my great pleasure to be with my good friend Leslie Roberts. I could tell you that Leslie Roberts is journalistic royalty, but that's not half the story. Leslie has been a courageous voice against much of what's going wrong in Montreal, from a horribly ineffective municipal government, 1/3 of downtown retail shut down, impossible to get around this city, the antisemitism in the streets, the difficulty of locomotion because gangs of thugs are running around. And Leslie Roberts, noted journalist, you've seen his work, you've heard his voice at GAD, has decided to run in the storied district of Peter-McGill for Ensemble Montreal. We need Projet Montreal out. And Leslie, you're going to win, and you're going to win huge.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, as they say. Thank you, brother.
I'm not going to ask you what made you decide to do it, because your writing has always been full of commitment on whatever the issue is, whether it's current antisemitism or anything else. But you're running and writing. I think this touches a theme, a nerve, memories for me. There was represented at one time by another great journalist named Dr. Bar.
Oh, I know that, and it was a reminder of the years gone by when Montreal had its glory years, when Nick was here, and almost was somewhat of a part-time counselor in all the right ways, because he was an ambassador for.
Because he was here, he was on the streets, as we are at Chez-Alexandre, which is the beating heart of Leslie's district.
It is, Peel Street, and unfortunately, a lot of the arteries around here, figuratively and
otherwise, yes,
are struggling, and that's just one of the issues. But they're also interconnected, right? You've got the security, construction, unfortunately the homeless, and the battles with drugs and mental health. But after 8 years, the solutions that are in place aren't working, and every government has its expiry date. And you know what that means. It's time for change.
And we've had Soraya Martinez-Ferrada, who's the head of Ensemble Montreal, on. Remarkably refined, caring woman, knowledgeable, and not dogmatic. And that's the quality of colleagues that Leslie's running with. And it's very important for Montreal to get back to that. This has been traditionally not a Projet Montreal district in Peter-McGill, traditionally. And you run from basically the Golden Square Mile and...
it goes down to Saint-Jacques, up to the mountain, all the way to University, to Atwater.
Am I wrong? You're actually a resident here.
I am.
So this is not carpetbagging.
No. I lived in this district in the 90s, and I've been here again for 3.5 years.
I have to ask you, because it's touched so many people in the city, and not just Jews. Your writings against anti-Semitism have been so eloquent, so heartfelt, so courageous. What brought you to that level, or when were you brought to that stage of, okay, that's it, I gotta take this on?
Well, I think any time that someone feels unsafe, if someone feels threatened, if there is some laws that have been violated, for example, protests without permits, you have to speak up. And I think when friends and family of mine were talking about potentially moving, not just from Montreal, but from Canada, it's important that no matter what the group is, that these individuals have support and allies. It happens to be, in this particular case, to fight anti-Semitism. And we know it's not just a Montreal problem, a Canadian problem, it's a worldwide problem. So you have to speak out.
And I encourage everyone to seek out Leslie's writings on it. They're passionate, they're eloquent, as I said, and they rank up there with other great Canadians like Warren Kinsella, my brother in arms, and many things. And it's something you really have to read. Locally, here, what's your number one priority for Peter-McGill?
Security. Security for the local residents, for people from around the city, and even from the suburbs who don't want to come down here anymore. If we start there and get the sense of confidence, I believe that it will bring people back. It will start to see things prosper again, and from there we can build. The other issues, I would say, are all connected, be it the poor planning of construction, We had seen in the Auditor General's report of late that there is absolutely no coordination. That will change. The mental health, the drug issues that are in this district as well. Within the first 100 days, we will have some solutions, sit down with the experts, and come out with a plan of action. There's no time to lose.
You mentioned security, number one, and of course part of the security problem has been the anti-Israel, pro-Hamas, anti-Semitic, whatever you want to call it, groups popping up anytime they like. People can't do business. The Alliance of Business People in Centreville, the Glenn Castanera head, they've had enough. And this is a Jewish issue.
No,
they want people to be able to locomote and do commerce.
Correct.
Now, we know, at least I know from my activism work and others, that Mayor Plante has ordered the police not to intervene, except in the most extreme masking of telling. Take it as a given, except in the most extreme cases. How would an Ensemble Montreal administration deal with it? Would they? I'll make it very simple, as I've asked Police Chief Dagger many times. Will they let the police enforce the criminal code? That's nothing more.
I'll begin by saying that things have to change from inside. The responsibility of the police has to get closer to the mayor in terms of not to obviously what to say to do, because law and order and politics are very separate. The two shall not mix. But you also have a responsibility as the mayor, and I'll let her speak for it, but I would say that the laws are enforced.
She did. Soraya did.
Correct. I will say as the district guy here, I would also see if protests are held without permits, if there is any kind of, for example, blocking the corner here would be unacceptable by any group. And when a group decides to do that, it's time to sort of say, okay, you can't do this, you cross the line. And I think that is what we need to do. There's a reason why the laws are in place. They can be better enforced, and I think that's the ultimate goal here, is to just work with what we have already and see how it plays out.
Leslie Roberts, I wish you the best.
Thank you.
He's going to win, with or without you, so you might as well go out and vote and be on the winning side.
Please do, and we promise we'll work our hardest.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you for listening.